I got absolutely wrecked by this game. Spelunky 2 just came out on PlayStation and PC, but is this game any good or is it just a DLC? Let's find out. I haven't played the original Spelunky, so I'm just going to base my review off this game alone. Dude, let me tell you, this game is really hard. It took me forever just to get to level 1-3. The tutorial doesn't cover all the bases, so a lot of what you experience is just trial and error. For example, take this block. It blends in with the background and it looks like it should be there. Pretty harmless, right? Wrong. It shoots arrows at you, and the only way to trigger it is to throw something else in its path before you go. In the same vein, here's another harmless totem pole thing that doesn't do anything unless you get next to it, in which case it will punch you. Caveman sleeping? He must be nice, except he just beats the crap out of you. Guy that wants your help with turkeys gets mad when you help out with the turkeys. The tutorial just straight up doesn't prepare you for this type of stuff. I guess that could be part of the fun, but for me it was really jarring sometimes. On the other hand, it was interesting to find out what you could and couldn't do with the enemies and the environment. So you hit an enemy with the old whip-ka, and then they're dazed for a bit. Turns out you can pick them up just like the rocks and the skulls and throw them at other enemies to knock them out. If another enemy falls in front of the cheap shot block, then they take the hit for you. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of interactions and it's basically up to you to figure them out. I guess that's the whole idea of exploration in this game. But it would help if they provided a little more guidance with stuff like Mr. Turkey Guy. Ideally, there'd also be some other type of mode where you can actually adjust the difficulty or at least have save points. It's kind of frustrating when you just get rocked time and time again and keep getting sent back to 1-1. Unlike US healthcare, I think that the random stage generation works pretty well. Sometimes you never know if you're gonna spawn in a resource-rich environment with tons of projectiles and money, or if you land in a stage where the first jar you break has a snake whose life points he'll take and you just can't catch a break. Most of this will not be new to people who have played Spelunky before. It builds upon the items and the level design and the enemies, but otherwise has the same formula just repackaged as a number 2 title. Spelunky 2 in a nutshell is looking at an object, wondering what it does, and then dying in a spectacular fashion. Rinse and repeat for literally every new thing you encounter. In general, I'd say Spelunky 2 is less forgiving than your siblings when you give them the smaller half of the last cookie. Oh, and moles. Moles are so terrible. I hate these things. These are terrible design. I absolutely hate it. They should not be in the first levels at all. For the type of gamers who would just tell you to get good at all these complaints, this would be a fantastic game for them. The beginning levels are pretty tough, but as you go further on, there's a lot of cool stuff to be explored. In general, Spelunky 2 does not seem like a clone of the original. It adds a lot to the game, like new items and a new story to go with it. This game is a solid sequel. I would just caution people that are newly coming into this type of genre to be patient and just give yourself a lot of time to get used to the difficulty.